a diss track on me? He thought I was doing a diss track. What? You know what, that's it.
Hey, Alex, you have barely 10 subscribers, but I gave you 50 fake subscribers, so you got so happy. You made a retard. You made a retard fake. You made a fake paper play button, but it's all fake. You really think, J-Paul, if I had 10 million subs, you really think I would get millions of those? But it's all fake. I'm sure when I reach to 100, I get nothing because you made all of it up. Your shirt is fake. You really think I'm gonna buy a shirt that barely has your YouTube channel? It's barely $5. I'm sure I can get it.
Stitch Fix, personal styling for every body, for every moment.
After the big game, there was ecstasy among Eagles fans. We found Chelsea Clinton and her husband Mark, who was born in Philadelphia.
I really think outside of the birth of our 2 children and our wedding, this is by far and away the happiest day of my husband's life.
And how happy is Jeannie Peterson, wife of the Eagles coach?
Oh my God, we just won the Super Bowl.
For Patriots fans, Jenny McCarthy and hubby Donnie Wahlberg, it was a night of utter disappointment.
We're going to get super drunk and cry ourselves to sleep.
Tom Brady left the stadium looking miserable. And look. Philly-born Kevin Hart tries to get on the podium for the presentation of the Vince Lombardi Trophy. He wasn't done yet. He crashed the NFL Network's post-game show.
I'm not drunk. Get off of me. I'm having a good time. Get off of me.
We gave.
Yeah, hey, Kevin, I love you. All right, he got to go.
The comedian posted his apologies today.
You know, when alcohol's in your system, you do dumb stuff.
A Super Bowl to remember.
Goodwin is gone.
An NFL star catches a thrilling 83-yard touchdown bomb, then says a prayer as he falls to his knees. Now we're learning the heartbreaking reason Marquise Goodwin of the San Francisco 49ers was so overcome with emotion. Unfortunately, we lost our baby boy due to some complications and had to prematurely deliver him early this morning around 4 a.m. He also posted this Instagram photo of his hand touching the hand of his son. Fans had no idea that Goodwin had decided to prematurely deliver him early this morning around 4 a.m. He also posted this Instagram photo of his hand touching the hand of his son. Fans had no idea that Goodwin had decided to play just hours after his family tragedy. This was the first child for Goodwin and his wife Morgan, who proudly posted the baby's sonogram after announcing the pregnancy in September. Although we're hurt, I'm grateful for the experience and grateful that God blessed me with a wife as courageous and resilient as Morgan. The pain, physically, mentally, and emotionally that she's endured is unbelievable. Please pray for the Goodwin family. Just last month, Morgan posted this photo, pregnant in a bikini.
Goodwin.
After her husband's touchdown, she wrote on Facebook, "I had to deliver my precious baby boy early this morning due to preterm labor. Despite our loss, my hubby kept grinding, scored his son a touchdown, a moving tribute to their baby that no one will forget.
Stitch Fix, personal styling for every body, for every moment.
Green nails. Just listen to the play-by-play announcers.
I don't know about this, but Rihanna just walked in front of me. Are you kidding me?
Early on, she bowed down to her favorite player, LeBron James of the Cleveland Cavaliers. But she apparently also ignited a feud with the Golden State Warriors' Kevin Durant. As he was about to take a free throw, she tried to distract him by yelling "brick," which in basketball lingo means a missed shot.
How deep this goal is.
Swoosh! Durant ignored the taunt. Look what happened next. Was that a stare down aimed right at Rihanna?
Durant for three. Bang!
Later in the game, after scoring a three-pointer, came another glare, as if to say, "Take that, Rihanna." In the post-game news conference, he didn't really want to talk about it.
I don't even remember that.
Well, just to let you know, social media is buzzing about it.
Really?
Yes.
Remain perfect.
The Cavaliers may have lost the game, but Rihanna still showed her love for LeBron.
This is the amazing moment. Steph Curry flung his mouth guard at a fan in the final minutes of Game 6 of the NBA Finals.
He throws his mouthpiece.
There was uproar as the Golden State Warriors superstar was ejected. Cleveland Cavaliers fans taunted him and sang goodbye.
It has been a roller coaster
as he walked down the tunnel to the locker rooms in shame. And we've learned that the guy who got the mouth guard thrown at him isn't just any fan. He is Andrew Forbes, son of a Cavs co-owner. Curry apologized to him before leaving the court.
I've thrown my mouthpiece before. I usually aim at the scores table. I was off aim. Definitely didn't mean to throw it at a fan.
Forbes posted his reaction on Snapchat.
His mouthpiece hit me in the face, and he was actually very polite, came over, apologized, but he picked up a big Cavs win tonight.
The violent outburst is out of character for Curry, who has cultivated a Mr. Nice Guy image, famously bringing his daughter Riley to post-game press conferences. But that wasn't the night's only drama. Curry's wife Aisha posted a tweet claiming, "Get this, the game was rigged. I've lost all respect. Sorry, this is absolutely rigged for money or ratings. I'm not sure which. I won't be silent. Just saw it live. Sorry." She quickly deleted the tweet, but the damage was done. She said she was upset because her father had been questioned by police about his NBA credentials before the game. Police racial profiled my father and told him to remove credentials and tried to arrest him. It's been a long night for me. I apologize, she posted. Apparently, Aisha's father was mistaken for this man, David Amanzada, who has been reportedly accused by the NBA of using unauthorized credentials at major sporting events. Here they are side by side.
Walk through, queen, walk through.
And Beyonce's entrance also caused an uproar. Ayesha Curry and other family members of the
his number into the dirt. The announcers struggled to keep their composure.
I was especially struck by the poignancy of the national anthem, a song we hear every day. But for a young man who risked everything to be a part of this country, it rang especially true today.
And how's this for a moment destined to go down in baseball lore? Player Dee Gordon was first up to bat for the Marlins. He's a lefty, but he batted from the right side in honor of Fernandez, who was right-handed.
And in tribute to Jose Fernandez, he took the first pitch of the game as a right-hand batter.
After the first pitch, Gordon switched to his natural left side, and then an amazing thing happened.
He cracks one to deep right field. That goes Bruce to the track, looks up, and that ball is out of here into the second deck. The first home run of the season for Dee Gordon.
He belted a homer that soared over Fernandez's number 16, painted on the right field wall. As Gordon rounded the bases, he burst into tears.
I don't care who you are, who you root for, or how badly you want the Mets to be in the postseason, that was phenomenal.
The Marlins went on to defeat the Mets 7-3. After the game, the team once again gathered at the mound and tossed their hats to the ground in one last tribute to their fallen pitcher.
Photographs and poster board may spell out what's about to happen here. But it's not every day that Keller Central High School drumline shows up for a prom proposal. And it's even rarer still, they march down a neighborhood street led by a high school senior, a popular cheerleader named Kenzie.
They're not trying to be rude or anything, they're just like, you want to take him to your senior prom? And I'm like, yeah, why not?
The him is 19-year-old Cameron, a special needs student with Williams syndrome. He's a fixture on the sidelines during football games, always rooting on the team. But high fives are one thing, senior prom, something different.
She could have picked anybody to go to prom with her, and she chose Cameron.
For a girl that wants to be a special needs teacher, though, an easy call.
They just accept you for who you are. You don't have to act a certain way. They don't have to act a certain way. Everyone just very open. I can be however I want when I'm with Cameron.
It's the drums Cameron hears first.
The drum line's here.
Then he answers the door, sees the big surprise, and hears those words.
Will you go to prom with me, Cam?
Yes.
A little overwhelming, perhaps, but the drums catch his eye. He has always loved that beat.
I just want to play Fun Drunk more.
She's the paralyzed girl who defied the odds by rising from her wheelchair. This amazing video went viral 2 weeks ago, and now Inside Edition is there as Bailey Merle gets ready for the prom.
Are you excited?
Yeah. Back to that in a moment. First, the inside story of this miraculous 17-year-old Texan who'd been given a 5% chance of ever walking again.
I did beat the odds.
Bailey suffered a freak injury while fooling around with her dad, Eric.
He had me over his shoulder and we were just horse playing, and I slipped somehow and landed on my back. I had no feeling in my legs from the hips down.
But after 11 days, the feeling started returning to Bailey's legs, and she got to her feet.
You just did that, 100%.
Bailey cried with joy, and then her mom recorded the surprised reaction of Bailey's favorite nurse to the wonderful news.
Her reaction was just, it was beautiful. I stood up and got the biggest hug of my life.
Now, we're there as Bailey gets ready for prom night.
Oh my gosh, you look incredible, Bailey.
Have a wonderful time tonight.
Senior prom!
And then, the teen who feared she'd never walk again hit the dance floor and summed up the miraculous turn her life has taken.
2 weeks ago, I got told I had a 5% chance of ever walking again, and now I'm at prom. It's awesome!
Other shampoos can wash your color down the drain, but non-stripping, sulfate-free Everpure protects your color.
A cheer coach is out of a job today after an accusation that she deliberately tried to trip a cheerleader from the opposing team. Teresa Fan was fired from her high school coaching job outside Chattanooga, Tennessee, and suspended from teaching for what many are calling a despicable act.
Not cool.
No. Cool is an understatement. Not cool, yeah. But did it really happen? Look at this video from another camera. The coach lifts her leg, but doesn't seem to come in contact with the cheerleader. Teresa Fan and her supporters say she was actually getting ready to catch the girl in case she fell. Now the cheerleader's own dad is coming to the coach's defense. I didn't think she did anything wrong, and I was there, he was quoted as saying. My daughter was not hurt in any way. The incident is the latest involving coaches and allegedly inappropriate behavior. Watch as this hockey coach intentionally trips a kid on the opposing team. Whoa, 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 whoa. No question, that was deliberate. The coach pled guilty to assault and was sentenced to 15 days in jail. Football coach Nate Harris was also accused of assault in Utah for knocking down a young player who was running with the ball. The misdemeanor charge was later dismissed. It even happens in professional sports.
Well, this is just uncalled for.
Who could forget the New York Jets coach who deliberately tripped a Miami Dolphin in 2010?
Watch the knee here being stuck out.
He deserved to get the boot.
Meet the Messalonsky High School cheerleading squad. In other words, meet Caitlin. When the football team meets rivals like it did Friday night in Maine, Caitlin Berthum is the only cheerleader rooting on the team. She's out there all by herself.
It's unheard of to really have one cheerleader, and for her to kind of just stick with it is amazing in itself.
And get this, the coaching staff outnumbers the squad 2-1.
I hear you're the one with the only cheerleader. I go, yep, the one and only.
Caitlin says she's nervous being all alone.
I get really nervous. I'm always nervous.
But you wouldn't know it when you see her leading the cheers. She's also found great support at every game from the opposing cheerleaders. D-O-T-S! On this night, it's 16 cheerleaders, count them, 16 against 1.
It is a little bit weird. It's unusual, but we think it's like amazing that she's continuing to cheer by herself. Like, so cool.
Here we go, Katie! Here we go!
The cheer team from Lawrence High School in Fairfield, Maine, even invited her to cheer with them. Caitlin's mom and dad are at every game. Tonight, they brought balloons and a poster to show their pride.
I couldn't do it. I don't think my wife could do it. It's very, very emotional and it's very, very inspiring.
They admit they were concerned when they found she was the only girl on the squad.
My heart sank. I really felt bad with it, especially being her senior year.
Mom Kim has learned all the cheers.
I have to help support her any way I can. She was so nervous at the beginning of the year that she didn't know if she was going to be able to do it. So whatever I could do to give her that support, and the crowd has actually picked up and helped as well.
I've been doing this for 4 years, and she knows just about all of my cheers.
Parents of other students are amazed by Caitlin's school spirit.
I so admire her for being able to be out there.
Introducing the new Capital One Saver Card. Earn 4% cash back on dining and 4% on entertainment. Now when you go out, you cash in. What's in your wallet?
A senior quarterback with a 95-yard touchdown run to win the state championship game. Leading a team that just 2 years ago had a 1-10 record to their first state title in more than 60 years. Historic. Impressive. But this is a story about much more than football. This is a story about a coach, a quarterback, and a little but loaded question that changed their lives. Late summer 2015, Harding University High School, Charlotte, North Carolina.
#1 goal overall.
Sam Greiner, a first-year head coach, tasked with turning around the Rams' abysmal, underfunded program and breaking some bad news to sophomore Brahim Murphy.
The athletic director comes to me and says, "Oh, yeah, by the way, Brahim Murphy and some other guys are not eligible." I was like, "Brahim's not eligible?" I was like blown away because he's so smart.
But he didn't have the grades to play.
When he told me that, I didn't show any emotions, but like once I got home, I just cried for like 2 days straight.
Home, a complicated word in Brahim's life back then.
I had to be on my own at times, and sometimes I'll stay at my friend's house. Me and my sister stay at my friend's house. We were going back and forth.
We're homeless.
Yeah, basically, I wasn't stable in a stable home.
When he was 5 years old, Brahim lost his mother to a brain aneurysm.
And after that, it's just like everything went downhill. My dad loves me and everything, but we were just going through problems.
Coach Greiner started to notice that when he dropped Brahim off at home, it was never the same place twice.
Eventually, he just opened up to me, and he was like, I have to stay with my sister from place to place. And I didn't know what to do at times, so I go into my office and I start thinking, I'm like, God, something's tugging at my heart.
Now, Sam Greiner has spent years talking faith, family, and football. So he called his wife, Connie.
Okay.
It was time to practice what he preached.
So he stayed with us. We had dinner a couple times with him, and I fell in love.
And their daughters, Charlie and Journey, just 2 and 3 years old at the time, absolutely smitten with a new big brother. So when it came down to that little life-changing question...
He's like, is it okay if I just stay here with you guys for a little bit? I said, Brahim, you can stay here as long as you want. And 2 years later, will you do me a favor? Yeah.
It was an adjustment, but it worked.
I just felt that when I had someone caring for me, I felt like it made me do better in school, and it made me want to do better in life,
His grades shot up, straight A's. Brahim said in finding a family, he also found faith.
Once I met God, that's a main turn in my life also.
And football, well, that fell into place. But this story, it's far from finished. Brahim will leave for college in the summer. He earned a scholarship to the United States Military Academy at West Point.
I'll shed some tears, cause Connie gonna make me, they're gonna make me cry.
Oh my gosh.
What you gonna tell Brahim on graduation day?
That I love him. I couldn't be more proud of him. I mean...
He's doing a family tree changer. I never had an opportunity to go to West Point. He's better than me. Connie's trying to go to college right now to do her career, and
Brushing only reaches 25% of your mouth. Listerine cleans virtually 100%. Bring out the bold.
1, 2, 3, go! Madison, James Madison!
When the James Madison football team wins, this is the scene in the locker room. A constant after every victory during the Duke's incredible 17-game win streak. Except for one game.
By the time we got into the locker room, it didn't feel like we won. Instead of, singing the fight song, we said a prayer.
Trey Sharp learned the game of football from his father, David Sharp, a well-respected youth football and basketball coach in their hometown of Carrboro, North Carolina.
I was 7 years old, and I already told my dad, I wanted to be a running back. And so he comes home one day and he tells me to get my cleats ready, we're going outside. And he had cones set up for me, and he taught me how to hold a football that day, and showed me the holes of the line of scrimmage.
This summer, Trey was beginning camp for his junior season when he received news about his father.
I got a phone call from my mother, and she had told me that he was in the hospital and he had cancer in his kidney.
David's diagnosis was terminal. Trey would spend much of the next month making the 4-hour drive between Harrisonburg and his home in North Carolina. Then, on September 16th, before the Duke's game against Norfolk State, Trey made a FaceTime call home, like always.
It's around 6 o'clock in the morning. He couldn't really say much, just nodding his head, saying yeah. And it just felt like I had to play the best football game that I could for him. I just remember coming out and just being so zoned in to the game, and it was almost like I was playing with no fans, nobody there, just me, my guys, and the other team.
Trey turned in the performance of his career, rushing for 2 touchdowns and 180 yards.
Every time he hit the field, he's tack, tack, tack.
But early in the fourth quarter, he caught a glimpse of his brother in the crowd.
Around the fourth quarter, got the phone call. Wasn't good news, of course. I didn't want to tell him at first. I didn't want to tell him, but he kept looking up.
His head was down and he was shaking his head, and that's how I found out.
I'm really proud of Trey. He had a great day today, and he's having a tough day today. His dad passed away during the fourth quarter of our game today, so that's probably why the guys aren't real jolly up here.
It really didn't even seem like we won the game.
just because we knew that, he was hurting so much.
My locker is right next to Trey, so, one thing I said was, you just had the best game of your career, Trey. I just told him, it's special that, your dad's last sight, leaving is you playing like that.
5 days later, head coach Mike Houston and many of Trey's teammates attended the services for David Sharp.
The day that his father passed, Trey had a big ball game for us on the field. And so we gave him that jersey before the service. And at the end of the service, Trey took that jersey up and put it in his father's casket.
It's just a symbol of how much he's done for me, and that just for me being able to wear that jersey and to play this sport is all owed to him.